It's race day, and is there a finer place to be if you are a keen competitive runner like myself than at the start line of a race that you've trained for 9 weeks or more? For those who don't know me, I'm John, a keen Masters competitive runner in the male 55 age group, and this is the British Masters 5K Championships at Battersea Park in London. For some context, my lifetime 5K PB set all the way back in 2006 is 16:36, and the best time I have done recently is a 19:28, so I'm looking to improve on that on this occasion. And we're off. It takes a little bit of time for me to cross the start line, but not to worry because this race is chip timed. And we have the full in-race stats experience for you, this time in kilometres, so we can follow what is happening. So in terms of the paces we're looking for, last year at this very race I ran 19:31, so 3:54 would be a very small improvement. 3:53 pace would be a comeback PB. I ran 19:28 earlier in the year. 3:48 will be absolute dreamland, a sub-19, and we'll see how I get on there. So look at those paces. Currently I'm running sort of 3:45. Well inside 18:59 pace. We're actually talking 6-minute miling in old money. Nice wide pass as we start. You can see the weather looks absolutely fantastic. There's a gentle breeze. It's good conditions for racing in a vest. It's not too cold. There's going to be runners all around me throughout this race, so people to chase throughout. So this is the first time I've been coached for about 20 years. I've been following a training plan set by Andy Raynor, Forest of Dean runner, who many of you will know. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the results of 9 weeks of hard work. Insert there, you've got Dawn on the camera watching the leaders coming through. She stood just by the bandstand you can see in front of me on my footage. You can still see I'm operating in the 340s, just tipping into the 350s there. If anything, this is feeling a little bit quick. Now, at the start of this training block, Andy had me do a 5K time trial at a park run, and what we found was the first kilometre I was really sluggish, seemed to burst into life at 2K. So what I've been doing now before races and park runs is, as well as a 10-minute warm-up and drills and strides, we're actually doing 3 minutes of threshold as a bridge between the warm-up pace and the race pace, and it's certainly having effect today, although we're just rectifying ourselves now. We're just tipping into the low 4s there. Trying to get a handle on what pace feels like. I'm knowing 6-minute miling or mid 340s is feeling a bit quick. This is feeling a bit slow, so now we're moving back down into the 350s as we try and gauge the right pace for today. Now, the last session I did had some kilometre reps in, and they came out at 6:15 pace or 3:52 per kilometre. So perhaps that's the region we're working in. I did set off on this 5K training block with the absolute dream A goal, A++ goal of running a sub-19. I'm not quite sure that's in the legs quite yet, but I do know if I work hard, good things could happen today. Now, we did drive down from Yorkshire to the south yesterday and we spent about 5 hours on the road, and I always find when I do spend time on the road, it is a little bit difficult to get my legs moving. I've done quite a thorough warm-up today. As we just run into this corner, you'll see I'm not a very good cornerer. In a minute, you'll see that pace go into the 4s. I think it goes into the 4:10s at one point as I get myself going again on this lovely flat bit of tarmac in Battersea Park. Yes, I do find sometimes after a long drive, maybe where we're driven somewhere on a Friday and then done a park run on a Saturday, the legs can feel flat. The feeling's slightly flat, but I think I've got my A- stroke B+ game here today. Feeling strong and absolutely loving life. As I said, as a competitive runner, what finer place is there to be than being in a race that you've worked for several weeks at, and it's our chance now to shine. You can see we're pushed back into the 340s to try and make up a bit of time that we might have lost on that tight corner. So we're just about to come up to the 1 kilometre marker. Remember, we're looking for somewhere around 3:52 for a season's best, and we go through in, just about to click over now, 3:54.4. That puts us on track for 19:30, or 1 second quicker than last year. Now, those of you who watched last year's race will remember that I had Tim Gross and we were running neck and neck, or racing neck and neck, pretty much all the race. I had him to hang on to, and it really brought the best out of me on the day. Today, I've got runners in front of me, as you can see, but I don't really know any of these people, so I haven't got that particular incentive to beat a friend or a rival. So I'm just trying to pick on different people's vests and think, right, I'll get onto their back, I'll get onto their back, I'll try and pick them off one by one. Now then, one runner I definitely won't be picking off one by one is a fella here, Terry Booth, amazing runner, known him for over 20 years from the Old Runners World Forums. He was running 200 miles a week in that region years before it became popularised on the Ran to Japan channel. I think today he's going to run a sub-17, having raced the previous day. Absolute legend, Terry, so great to meet him, great to meet so many other people. This whole morning was an absolute joy for both Dawn and myself, because after this race there's the female race and the male 65 and over that Dawn took part in. So we met so many amazing people we've known for years like Terry, people we've known a few years, and people who follow this channel who came up to us and said how much they enjoy watching our videos. So absolutely amazing to meet you all. So we're well into the second kilometre now. You can see we're hit it down to 3:51. We're passing people, we're picking them off one by one. We're really trying at this 3:51 pace to make sure we come away with at least a season's best. Looking to 3:52, but you know, we're going well. You can see the leaves on the left here, so we're all running to avoid them, so not taking the absolute inside line. You see people walking straight across. I don't think that lady there with the dog was impressed at having to wait 2 seconds of her life for runners to come past. Still tracking in those low 350s. If we can keep this going, we're going to get something in the 1920s. Now, we're in the second kilometre. It's important at this stage not to worry about kilometres 3, 4 and 5. We'll deal with those when we get there. You can see we're still passing people, and you can see on the right the amazing amount of runners out in Battersea Park. I think some are running in groups like those. There's lots of people doing very fast sessions. Amazing to see a real mecca of running. Yeah, you can see the leaves on the left. They're encroaching on the path a little bit. So we're not actually running totally on the inside line here. We're running a couple of yards inside. So maybe it's not quite as fast as when you run in the summer. Let me know if you run here regularly, if you've done the Battersea races or any other races 5k that take place here. Do you think today's conditions are as fast as normal and I'm just trying to sandbag here? Right, we're still ploughing on around 350 pace. This is good. We're going to get onto this next pack of runners here, this next group of 3. So we're using people to pick them off. I say I haven't got the massive incentive of a rival. You can see the top left, the heart rate, something's gone wrong with it. It might be the cold, I might have not put my strap on firmly enough. We'll drop down to the 140s. It's not in the 140s. I know from my effort and my breathing, we're in the high 170s, low 180s, and we'll see how high we can get it later. Now just dipping into the 340s. So yeah, looking good so far and hoping for a worthwhile performance at Battersea Park today. So a little bit further up the course, Dawn's filming, you can see the fella there in yellow. That's the famous Serpot from the Let's Run forums, one of the pioneers of the Norwegian singles method. We've just purchased his book, and a very fine read it is too. We look forward to learning a lot more about that methodology of training and comparing it to various other methodologies we've come across in the past. So now we're slightly narrower part of the course, good group in front of me to try and pick off as we come round to the 2 kilometre point. So have I run it faster, slower, or about the same as the first kilometre? My sense is going to be a little bit faster. And my senses are correct, 2 seconds quicker there. So we are currently tracking for an estimated time of 19 minutes and 25 seconds. That's assuming that the course and my chorus are exactly in alignment. You've always got to allow for a few seconds after that. So the chorus might say 19:25. I'm thinking if you add on a few seconds at the end, current predicted pace range is 19:25 to 19:30. Now remember, I ran 19:31 here last year. My comeback PB is 19:28. The margins are going to be extremely tight to get a comeback PB and to run faster than I did here last year. You can see on the left we're still maintaining 3:52 pace, so well, are we going to be able to hold on to that? You can see on the right where the elevation is. I think it stays at 0% all the way around here. There are no slopes that you can actually feel at all in the race. Just slipping out to 3:55 as we head towards the middle of the 3rd kilometre. Out to 3:56 now. Come on, John, we need to hang on here. We need to look at this vest in front of us. I think that's Southampton AC, and just try and pick people off as we go along. So I spent the first part of this video measuring my potential success today in terms of a few seconds inside this or a few seconds outside that. But I was thinking in the days leading up to the race about success. And I'll tell you what success is. Let's go around this corner and get filmed by Dawn.
Come on, John. You've got Mark just ahead unless you can chase.
Yes, more of Mark in a little while. So yeah, I was thinking about success, and success is the fact I've had a 9-week plan. I've been set about 20 sessions on there. I have got up and I have nailed every single one. I've also run every single day during those 9 weeks, in fact for over 1,000 days. So every day I put something in a running bank. I've gone to the gym, I've done work at home, I've addressed pains in my knee by seeing a chiropractor. Every day I'm striving to be the very best runner I can be. So whatever time happens today, I know that my success can be measured in terms of input, effort and application. That being said, if we were measuring by times of time, there's my prediction at halfway, 1928 to 1933. So if you can stand on the start line of the race, looking yourself in the virtual running mirror, knowing that you have done everything within your power, given family circumstances, job circumstances, your age and any injury niggles you might have, if you've done the very best you can to give of yourself the very best potential for doing your best on that day, then you can be proud as a runner. We can now see the heart rate in the high 170s, which is about right. We can see the pace has slipped into the mid 350s. This is that tricky period between 2.5k and 4k where you've got to hang on, not let things drift too badly and leave yourself with too much to do at the end. I know it's going to be agonisingly close to beat my time from earlier in the year, that comeback PB of 1928. All I can seek to do in this kilometre is to hold on and then hope I've got something to give in kilometre 4 and in kilometre 5. Can't fault the race setup though, can you? There's still people to try and chase, to try and get on the backs of and trying to pass. The path is lovely and wide and we have beautiful running conditions. What a glorious day to be alive. So we're still holding on to that pace in the mid 350s. I really don't want to see it go over 4 because that might be too many seconds to have to claw back near the end. Let's try and get to that 3k marker, which I know is coming up in a little while on the left. See if we can still maintain a pace in the 350s and then hold on for dear life in kilometre 4. Getting sounds of moderate to hard discomfort, which is what we want at this part in the race. So the 3 kilometre comes in at 3:55.8, the slowest of the race so far. That moves our prediction if we carry on at the current average of 1930 to 1935. Come on, John, hang on through this kilometre 4 because we know you can always find something in the final kilometre. Everybody can always find something in the final kilometre. But we've got this tricky corner to negotiate where I slowed last time and we come out of the corner and we're into the 4s, 401, 402, 44, 47, 48, come on, 410. We need to get that back down. Yes, we're starting to surge again and we're back down to 355, 352, 348. Wow, 343, we really are putting in a shift, trying to make up the time we lost on that corner. We've still got people to work with, although the field is thinning out a little bit. Heart rate now in the low 180s. We're still maintaining just under 350 pace. It's slipping back up now, 349. This is good. Let's keep that pace away from those horrible 4s. 348, we're doing well. We know that this is the culmination of 9 weeks of training, 9 weeks of getting out there, 9 weeks of maybe doubting myself at the beginning of each session, but absolutely nailing each session with good execution. Hitting all the paces that have been prescribed, it's all going to come down to the next 6 minutes or so. Keep pushing, we're up to 354 now. We keep trying to hold that pace, come on. Oh no, 356, we don't want to get it up to those 4s because we may be leaving ourselves too much to do at the end of the race. There's another runner in front of me, so let's try and work hard and get on his shoulder. This is not what we want to see. The heart rate is rising. It's 182 now. The pace is slipping to the 356s and 357s. So let's just focus on trying to take people, to try and beat people here and let the pace look after itself. Yeah, we've got it back down to 352 now. If you're a fellow competitive runner, what goes through your head at this point in the race? Do you, as I do sometimes, just fix on a point ahead and try and run towards the next lamppost or a litter bin or whatever it is? Do you fix on the runners around you and try and beat them? So I've got this one here in the striped, well, it's actually hooped vest. So we go past him and there's another one just in front. Now, at this point, I'm not sure if you can see quite very clearly now, but there is a runner about 2 or 3 places in front of me in a yellow vest. That is the Mark that Dawn mentioned back at the first turn. I've known Mark for over 20 years on the Barnsley running scene. Former member of Barnsley AC, now running in the yellow vest of Steel City Striders of Sheffield. It's now become my mission to try and close him down. I can see he's struggling a little bit as we come up to the 4th kilometre. So let's try and get past this fella and then try and get on Mark's back. We're down to the 352s now. That is the pace we need to be at. Heart rate up to 183. We have the strange double sensation of I wouldn't want to be anywhere else this morning than in Battersea Park, taking part in this race and giving them my best around all these other wonderful runners, wonderful competitive athletes. But at the moment, I'd rather be anywhere else but Battersea Park doing this very thing that I'm loving doing. Strange sport is running, isn't it? I think we can now see Mark up ahead. I think I'll catch him hopefully around the 4 kilometre mark. What will 4K bring us? It's been a kilometre with its faster bits and its slower bits, so let's hope we're still somewhere around that 352, 353. So there we go, we've kept it consistent, 354. Current prediction range is 1931 to 1936. Surely we can find something this last K. We have a friend and rival up ahead in the shape of Mark. We have just 1 kilometre to go. We have 9 weeks of training behind us. We have this training series, all the followers, all the messages, the kind messages I received. Let's do everybody justice, including myself.
Well done.
Hope you caught Mark on camera there with the double death cough special there. There's me going through all sorts of pain and he is really struggling too. And we've got it down now to 344. This is what we want. We've got 800 metres to go, about half a mile for those of us like me who follow the imperial system. But I put them in kilometres here because this is a 5k race. We have to get through the corner and then head up to where we have the final turn. Still keeping it in the low to mid 340s. This is everything. Come on, give it everything, John. 185 heart rate now on the watch. Got another runner here to use, another one in the Southampton vest, I believe. Let's try and get onto the back of him, then pass him. Keep working, 349, 348 pace. The sounds of somebody punching me in the chest, though, that's what it feels like. Now we have a little bit of a gap just past the Southampton runner. The next runner is maybe 30, 40 yards in front. So we just have to find something, anything to focus on to keep us moving. 3:45, that's 6-minute mile pace. I would love one day to complete a 5k in under 6-minute mile pace, but for now, let's just settle for what we can have. 187 heart rate. Sounds of somebody in great distress. New sounds to me. Anyway, I will be in even greater distress if in a minute and a half's time I haven't got a pleasing time for me, a pleasing time that I've come for. I will spend the rest of the day regretting that I didn't give it all on this final, well, we're now into the final 300 metres, 187 heart rate. We have now turned into the finishing straight. 350 pace, 349, 187 heart rate. There is this runner in front of me. Can I catch him? Can I use him just to get even one more second out of myself? We've now got 200 metres to go. 185 heart rate. 345, that is 6-minute miling again. What time are we on now? 1845, 1846, 1847. We're just about to click over to 19 minutes. I'm obviously not going to get that, but can we come away with something? Can we use this Bet 60 guy I'm next to maybe get past and get another second out of myself? 347, no, he's off on a surge. I don't think I'm going to beat him today.
Come on, John! Come on, John, last bit, nearly there! Keep going, well done! Well done!
50.
And yes, there we have it, a final kilometre of 3:45, a new comeback PB of 1922. Highly delighted with all that. I will do a full race recap video and unpick the full significance of this performance. I'd like to thank everybody who has sent me messages of support, who has commented on the video and who came up to us on the day and complimented us on the channel. But this is one very happy John Broom signing off from Battersea Park in London. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.